KHOU 11 News at 5:30 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Cheryl Mercedes. HISD is sending parents updates on efforts to reopen schools following last week's deadly windstorm. The district says 215 of its campuses will be open tomorrow. That leaves 59 schools that may or may not open. HISD is keeping a running list, which is being sent directly to parents as it's updated. Officials say any campuses that are not on the list by 9 o'clock tonight will not open tomorrow. Meanwhile, all schools in Cy-Fair ISD will remain closed. In a statement, the district said, quote, travel is a concern due to the number of traffic lights out and the amount of debris on the roads. Additionally, many of our campuses and families are still without power, end quote. Officials will decide tomorrow whether to hold class on Tuesday. Spring Branch ISD will also be closed tomorrow. The district says 70% of its campuses are without power. Meanwhile, Cleveland ISD says its schools will be open tomorrow. CenterPoint Energy says it expects power to be restored by this evening to approximately 80% of its customers. The number of outages has dropped just below 300,000. The company says it will send updates directly to customers who can expect to be without power into early this week. But here's the thing. You need to be signed up for the company's alert service to get that information. We have a link for you on KHOU.com. Meanwhile, there is good news for more than 200 folks living at the Houston Heights Tower. Power has been restored. 8 people living at the assisted living facility were taken to the hospital, though, for heat exhaustion. Katira Winfrey has the update on the situation there, which we told you about first last night.
Portable air conditioners run by generators help keep people cool as they enter day 3 without power at the Houston Heights Towers.
It's been a sweaty, hot mess.
But relief finally arrived as the lights turned on. During the days waiting for power to return, Resident Council President Brian Cotton said the heat was a major hurdle.
We had about 8 people yesterday go to the hospital from heat exhaustion.
This facility caters to low-income residents, many who have medical disabilities.
I got our maintenance man to speak with Abby and tell him how many people in need we had here for oxygen tanks and CPAP machines.
Council Abby Kamen, they say, was the first to raise the alarm, calling in help from the Houston Fire Department and Houston Emergency Management and other volunteers like Crown Source Rescue, Convoy of Hope, and Village Heights Church.
I think that's just a Houston story, that we know how to weather storms.
One of the pastors, Hannah White, says they have church friends who live here and we're grateful to join forces to help with supplies.
It's really just been all hands on deck.
People who live here say maintenance crews were outstanding. They're behind the fans and portable AC units. It's a heartwarming ending, complete with a much-needed cool down.
I'm going to really enjoy sleeping tonight.
Reporting in the Heights, Katira Winfrey, KHOU 11 News.
Meanwhile, County Judge Lena Hidalgo says FEMA representatives are here and they've started damage inspections. Hidalgo also reminding residents that the disaster declaration that was signed by President Biden covers not only those impacted by the windstorm, but also the floods from 2 weeks ago.
For those individuals that were affected by either of those disasters, we encourage you and need you in order to get the help you as much as we can to apply for both FEMA aid and small business assistance.
There are several ways to apply. Text the word STORM to 713-526-1111 and we'll send you back a link on how to apply for FEMA relief. To the weather now. It has been another hot and humid day, and you can expect much of the same throughout the work week. Meteorologist Pat Kaplan is tracking those hot conditions for us. Folks living without AC, they're waiting to hear it, and it's not good news, huh, Pat?
Yeah, and thankfully that number of folks without power continues to go down, but it's got to go down a little bit faster here as we get into some more hot weather. Beautiful day, though. I mean, I just wish that we could talk about how nice it was instead of talking about the impacts of having no power with the heat, obviously. But hopefully we do get power restored here in the next few days. 91 the high temperature again today at Bush. It's that morning temperature, though, that I'm really keeping an eye on, because that's going to start to stair-step its way into the mid and upper 70s towards the end of the week. And again, your body needs that break at nighttime to really combat any heat-related illness. So it's not really the high temperature that does it for us. It's that low temperature, again, expected to climb through the upcoming week. Sunset tonight at 8:11. At this hour, still 91 in Rice Military, 94 in Stafford, 90 at Hobby, 89 at Bush, 86 in Webster, 91 in Sugarland, and 93 in Katy. So a lot of upper 80s to low 90s across the board right now. Of course, the cool spot on the map still Galveston at 85 degrees. But when you throw in the humidity, everybody, including Galveston, feeling like the 90s in the shade. That number, of course, worse in the afternoon. So we're in a cooler part of the day right now. So we will see these heat index values continue here as we go through the upcoming week. Good news, though, again, for those with tarps on their roofs, those that have been dealing with flooding since the beginning of the month, we don't have any rain in the forecast, at least for the next few days. High pressure firmly in charge. That's going to keep things really quiet here as we go through the start of the upcoming week. So some patchy fog, some low clouds possible by morning. Otherwise, just warm and muggy with mainly clear skies. We get you into Monday. It's sunny. It's hot. Feels like 95 to 100 degrees. Again, this is not crazy unusual heat for us. It's just the power outages being the overarching theme here. We do see more humidity as we get into the middle part of the week. That'll bring us a few more clouds in the mix, I think, especially as we get into Wednesday. But eventually, though, we will see temperatures kind of peak back into the low 90s here by the end of the week. But those extra clouds that we see on Wednesday, those will keep temperatures maybe 2 or 3 degrees cooler. Not a big difference here. But again, with the humidity, it all feels the same, like the mid to upper 90s. And you'll really see that impact in the morning low temperatures. We go from wake-up temperatures in the low 70s tomorrow to the mid 70s, maybe even upper 70s for a good part of the week getting into next weekend. Temperatures are expected to stay warm. If you're a fan of the warm weather, you love the forecast. If you don't have power and AC, you hate the forecast. But this above normal temperature stretch will last us even beyond power is restored to everyone. So we're expecting pretty much for the rest of the month to see these temperatures stay at or above normal. So it's a heat ridge to our south that's going to keep things warm and dry, at least for the start of the week. But watch what happens. It does start to push down towards the south a little bit. If that high goes far enough south, we could see a couple of storm chances sneak into the area for the end of the week. The details are a little fuzzy on this right now. It's something I want to put on your radar, though, especially as we continue to clean up from the storms that we had last week. So we're keeping an eye on Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday as a potential to see a few isolated storms. 72 for the overnight tonight. As we get you into tomorrow, we are in the low 90s. There's your 7-day forecast, 92 with sunshine for your high temperature as we get to Monday. Tuesday, partly cloudy, 90 degrees for your high temperature, 89 then with mainly cloudy skies as we get into Wednesday, and then isolated storm chances for Thursday, for Friday. And then right now, I kept the weekend dry, but we could see maybe a storm chance as we get into Saturday.
All right, thanks, Pat. That's all we have for you for now. We're back on TV tonight at 10. See you then.